Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. Early morning trapping, man. Trying to knock these videos out, man. At least one. Why be you? Just be yourself is horrible advice for some people. What you want right now, if you want anything, if you lack, you don't have those things because that's what you've been doing. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the understanding, and you don't have the experience for you to live the life that you want, bro. Nobody's born with the knowledge, man. Nobody's born with the knowledge. And if you are, you haven't tapped into it properly, right? What do a lot of people say when you ask them advice about relationships, about attracting that woman that you want? They say, just be yourself. Number one, most people don't know themselves. Most people don't know who they are. So that is just impossible. That's just impossible. Unless you actually understand who you are, what you're capable of, and you have a specific amount of self love, being you is the last thing that you should do. What they should say is be your best self. Visualize you being your best self. Visualize you executing. Understand that you need to be reading every day. You need to be who you want to be. You need to be who you want to be. And then put yourself in that situation. A lot of people don't want somebody who's still working on themselves. A lot of people want people who are ready made. A lot of people don't want people like me. That's only 10% there. A lot of people don't want people like me that have dramatic lives, that have people in their lives playing with them, constantly tugging, pushing, pulling on them, messing with them. A lot of people don't want to grow with people. They just want to join the party and then leave the party whenever they feel like it. So, you being you at this point, did it work yesterday? Did it work when you were 15, 16, 17? That's different. It's different now. It's different now. Being you is best when you're working, when you're building up, when you do those little tasks every day to better yourself. That's when you should be yourself because then you can engineer a whole new beast and get what you need. That's the problem I've been having, being myself. What I want, the other 90% of things in my life I want, I have to work to get. I have to do things right now for money I don't want to do. I don't get to wake up and do YouTube and music and mentor and counsel people. That's not what I do, bro. That's not what I do. The little pennies I make, cigarettes, weekend, that's it. I'm not paying my bills with all this, all the donations and all the YouTube. That's not my life. All right. So, me being me pushes people away. And that's fine. I understand that. That's how it's supposed to be. Because the universe does not want me to be me. The universe wants me to be better. The universe wants me to be me while I'm working on myself and better. The universe wants me to be a monster right now. The universe wants me to be myself so I can be greater later. The universe wants to keep putting me in these situations with all these weird women, doing all kind of stuff to make my mom cry, doing all kind of stuff to mess with my money, doing all kind of stuff to push me to my emotional edge so I can gain more clarity, so I can have that rocket fuel when I work out, so I can have that laser sharp focus when I'm reading these books, so I can think of new strategies and move from one side of time to the other side of time with grace. That's what the universe wants. But unless you're unless you're Offset or Cardi B, being you to get what you want, it's probably not a good idea, bro. It's probably not a good idea because you are where you are because of what you were doing 2 years ago. The average person's life is based on what they were doing 2 years ago. Okay, so think about that. What were you doing June 26, 2018? The day before that, 25th, the 24th, the 23rd. What were you doing? What were you doing? If you're over the age of 32, 70%, 78% of people who are 32 and up are going to die doing what they're doing right now. Was being you authentically at 31, is that, did that work for you? Did it? I don't know. If it did, then be yourself. Be yourself every day. Don't change anything about yourself. Don't work out any harder. Don't eat any better. Don't read any books. Don't socialize with more people. Keep doing that and see what happens. But you being you, as beautiful and lovely as that sounds, that doesn't work for everybody. That doesn't work for most people. That doesn't. You might have some kind of special skill or talent or some kind of uncommon information running through your mind, circulating through your veins, but you're not using it. You work at McDonald's, which is fine. You work at Popeyes, which is fine. You work at a car wash, which is fine. But having that same mentality and having that same network and having that same circle of friends and having that same amount of books, spending the same amount of time on YouTube and social media, that's not going to do anything for you. Trust me. I've been me for, I changed dramatically every 2 years. Definitely every year and a half, unless I experience some kind of trauma. Am I the same person I was last March 2019? Absolutely not. Not. Okay. Me being me hasn't worked. It's only made things worse. So, what I have to do is just like everyone else. What would I not do today? Ask yourself that. Do that. Do that. What I would not do is wake up and read and meditate and abstain from smoking cigarettes. Whatever you would not do that. Because as good as you are, as beautiful as you are, what you're doing right now, it's not working. It's not working. Now, if it is, apply what you do every day and do that. But if you're under a certain level, if you're like me at that 10%, being you is the last thing you should do. Facts. Okay, especially when if you're if you're a teenager and you say, "Mom, I like this girl. She's so pretty," and she says, "Be yourself." Do the opposite of that. Do the opposite of that in private. Because if you don't know what to do, being yourself is not going to work. It's not going to work. What would you not do? Read books, bro. And if you do, read more books. And when you do, read different books. Draw, write, so you can have something to speak about. Okay, work out if you're skinny or the opposite of skinny. Okay, if you're not a vegetarian or vegan, become a vegetarian or vegan. Whatever you would not do on the average day, do that. That's what I did. Do I have, I don't have anything, bro. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. For whatever reason, I thought I need to be in therapy. I'm not anymore. because I went in with the wrong intentions, and she gave me some advice. I followed it because I trusted her, and that was not good advice. It was good advice for me to learn what not to do because I already knew what to do and it was working. And I thought, hey, she went to school for this, it didn't work. So let me take over because I'm good. I'm good, bro. That's a fact. What if, what if, what about all those people who are not here anymore because the boogly virus, huh? Did being them work for them? All the pastors and all the artists and all the people who where they did not improve their lifestyle, they did not take more supplements, they didn't do like me and go get the B12, the iron, the turmeric, the garlic, the fish oil, the vitamin C, the vitamin D. Being not me worked in that situation. Being me would have gotten me not here anymore. Okay. So, yes, the amount of confidence you have is not enough. Build it. The amount of muscle you have, not enough. Build it. The amount of body fat you have, too high. Lose it. Okay. The amount of ignorance that you have, lose it. The amount of knowledge that you have, anything that you want more of, you're going to have to tap into what you have to build that muscle metaphorically. But being you is it's not what to do. Not in every situation. In some situations, if you're like, hey, how do I maintain being exactly the same? Then I would say, what do you do every day? Do that. Be yourself. If you ask me, what do I do to get more? I would say, do something different. Don't be yourself. How do I wake up, go to work, come home, and go to sleep and pay my bills and do that every day? I would say, just be yourself. If you say, hey, Aaron Moses, how do I make $1 million? I would say, I don't know exactly how to make $1 million other than asking a million people for $1 and have no bills. Um, I don't know. Just don't do whatever you're doing right now. Study, read, research, take care of your body, make the right connections, and don't do anything you're doing right now that is keeping you from $1 million. I don't know. That's what I would tell you. That's exactly what I would tell you. If you want to do the same thing every day, if you want to get the same results every day, of course, be yourself. If you're a millionaire right now and you do real estate and you say, Aaron Moses, how do I make $1 million? I would say, how'd you make that first $1 million? And they would tell me, and I would say, okay, just do that, but like double as hard, double as much. If you only got 4 hours of sleep, keep getting that same 4 hours of sleep, but do it longer than what you did before. However, you did, save up to get that first $1 million, do that, but like more, do twice of that, you know. But that's it, man. I just don't like when people say, I tried, I just was being myself, bro. The thing about it is, if I were to have a woman again, which is that's not what I want ever in my life. If she were to come to me right now with the amount or lack that I have, right? What kind of personality would she have? What kind of person would she be? That would be either somebody I really want around me that's a really ride or die chick, or She would be a bum. Or she would be somebody that I should not be around. Just like the opposite. If I had 100 of everything I wanted, she would either be on that same level or she would be a gold digger. So it works in both ways. All right. Who you attract is definitely a reflection of what you have going on in your mind and the effectiveness of being yourself. But you do have to be able to read other people's intentions. So that's just an example. And people keep saying money doesn't mean anything. Money and your success and your happiness is a reflection of of your patterns and your habits and your behaviors and what you need to keep doing and what you need to stop doing. If you only have $500 in your bank account and you work 50 hours a week and you turn up every weekend and you're like, how why am I not stacking up? Because you're being yourself and your habits and your patterns is inconducive to you stacking up. Why don't I have this? Because you did what you were doing yesterday, bro. Why do you expect to do the same thing and keep trying to build on that? That doesn't work, bro. That hasn't worked for anybody, bro. Now, yeah, this isn't the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Right? You can be if you want to be on YouTube, if you want to be Instagram famous. I'm talking about with no social media. I'm talking about not blowing up overnight from a viral video and getting a fan base. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real life, real relationships. Because let's say this video went viral today, right? That I'm making right now. And I got $1 million, right? In like 3 months, like a lot of these people do. I wouldn't be the same person and I would attract different people around me. No, I would definitely push them away because I know what it is. And I'm going to be myself in that way. But other than that, I'm not going to be myself. The goal is for me to never be this ever again. And just like in the ancient Kemetic sciences, you have to live little deaths every day, just a little bit, not a lot. Changing your habits, changing your patterns, changing your behavior. You're going to be a whole different person by the time you're not here anymore. Do you want to be just like this the last day on earth? Even if it's even if it's 4 months from now, even if it's 90 years from now. You want to be exactly like this with more finances, with more money, with more friends, with more family, with more success. You want to be just like this. If you want to be exactly how you are, if you're not where you want to be in life, I should have just said this at the beginning of the video. If you want to be exactly how you are right now and you don't have exactly what you want, those two things don't go together, bro. Those two things do not go together at all. Just realize that. All right. That's it, man. It's Aaron Moses. Good morning. I'm the bang, you the bang. We the bang together, man. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Life is in the breath. Peace.